Shalom, all praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Basham, Rukakudash, and double honors to the apostles of the GMS, and to the bishops, the elders, and all the sincere brethren that are laboring the truth across the world, and to all the sincere brethren and sisters that are listening to the truth. And I pray this lesson be another edifying lesson to the flocks, and wherever the Most High want to hear this message, let it be heard. And before we begin the lesson, I will introduce the true name of the Father, which is Yahweh, and the names mean He exists. And the true name of the Son is Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, which means the Redeemer or the Deliverer. And He's only coming to redeem His people, which is the nation of Israel. And in today's age, we identify them as the so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans, which scattered on all four corners of the world. It looks like they're the nations and also practice the custom of the other nations. And with that, that would be for the introduction of the lesson. And today's title of the lesson is "You Only Have I Known." So the Heavenly Father Yahweh only known one people, and you're gonna find that in the book of Amos 3 verse 2. Out of all the nations on the planet, the only nation the Heavenly Father Yahweh acknowledged and known is the nation of Israel. And guess what He's gonna do right now? So because of that, He's gonna punish them for their iniquity. So let's read the book of Amos 3 and 2. And I'm probably gonna start at 1 2 before that basically. And it says Amos 3 and 1, it says, "Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you." And when it says Lord, the letter is completely capital. That's basically the Heavenly Father Yahweh basically. He says, "O children of Israel." So who's the children of Israel? Because I only brought the title yes because I can't. Yesterday there was like a Edomite lady that walked by while we were preaching, and he looked at the sign. She stared at, she said, "I'm Levi." So she claimed to be the tribe of Levi. And the elder said, "No, you're not." And she said, "I'm Levi." And the elder kept saying, "No, you're not." And the elder's like, how are you the tribe of Levi? And she said, "My father and my grandfather, my father keeps saying Levi." And the elder's like, "How do you know?" She kept up saying, "I do know." But when the elder pressed her, and the elder's like, "Are you Jewish or Levi?" She was like, "Yeah, I'm a Jewish Levi," something like that. I remember. Then it was like, "No, you cannot be two tribes. Either you be, you can be an Israelite from any respective tribe." And she was very upset, and she was like, whatever. It kept on going. So everybody on the planet, those Edomites, so those who call themselves Jews, keep claiming that. So you see, the other nations, man, they always like claiming nationalities except our people, basically, man. We are very peculiar people, very special people, but our people doesn't seem to want to be that. And throughout this session, we'll be talking about coming back to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, everything things that's going on around the world, why we're in that situations, all of the above, basically. So basically, once again, the Heavenly Father Yahweh has spoken to the children of Israel. And the children of Israel is basically the so-called Negroes, the so-called Latinos, and the so-called Native Americans. And also, you gotta be aware of that. People also are gonna looks like the other nations. Just because you see somebody, it looks like an Edomite, that doesn't necessarily mean that the person is Edomite. And we see time and time again, you see Edomite that acting like a certain ways, like a Jake's be acting. You be like, I don't know about that, man. When you're in the world, you be like, "Oh man, that white man got flavor. He can do this and that." It's same thing with the Asian. You be like, "Ooh, that Asian has the sauce." Even man, Jake is say, "Man, out of all these white men, this white man act like a black man." It would be like, "I f with this guy, man." That's what we used to say in the world, man. And when you come to the truth, you realize he's an Israelite foreigner. But but the other Jake won't see it like that. They won't. Like when you're watching NFL, he's like an Edomite that's extremely fast. He's doing exactly what the Negroes are doing. Guess why? Because he's an Israelite. He's an Israelite foreigner. He's an Israelite that take the appearance of a heathen. Why? Because his forefather keep playing with the heathens, and over time he looks just like one. So against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, so the heaven for the has brought us out from the land of Egypt. Why? Because we're in captivity under the Egyptians. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. So of all the nations, of all the people on the earth, the Heavenly Father Yahweh only acknowledge the nation of Israel. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Because of that, the Heavenly Father Yahweh is punishing us for all our iniquities. Why? Because we are extremely hard-headed. We don't listen to the Heavenly Father Yahweh Bashmesha, because He's punishing us. And He put all the nations above us, and primarily the nation of Edom. That's why a lot of Israelites made it. Because one of the things we'll be coming up, we've been talking about in camp yesterday, like when fall down. Basically, okay, I remember how every nation's been ruling, and when they reach that 250 years period, that's when they start falling. And we were talking about even our nation, the nation of Israel, once who used to rule, and we also fall. For all our iniquities, we also fall, and the Most High put us under captivity. And we were talking about how even though we were in captivity, the other nations we were still superior to the other nations. And people will be like, but why? But if you guys were superior, how do you fall? Well, we only fall because the Heavenly Father Yahweh took our power away from us, basically, man. Because even in this world we're living right now, the other nations can touch us. Like right now, I'm a Soko Negro. I remember I got pulled over almost 5 years ago, and I got I'm just one guy. I'm 6'4" and rough. I normally fluctuate around 190 to 195 pounds, and I'm a fit guy. And I got pulled over. I'm sitting on the car, and then when the cop called back up, you see another 5 cars. I'm like, bro, I'm only one person. Why do you need all that? Why do you need all that backup for? But the thing is, I wasn't panicking at that time. That was around when I woke up to the truth, so I wasn't panicking. I pray that Heavenly Father Yahweh protect me. Esau goes with Jake, and the town that I was at. It's not even the town that far away from where I live, but the Edomites over there really are so what the world called racist. And I'm like, bro, I'm just one guy. You already have weapons on you, man. What do you need all these guys for? Because Esau by default feared Jake, and that's us on the lower level. Now imagine when we have spiritual powers. So even though Esau have all that power ruling the world, he is still terrified of Jake, what Jake can do. And I was very calm and collected. So how do we lose our power? It's because the Heavenly Father Yahweh allowed Esau to take us out. So right now, even on the lower state that we are right now, if it wasn't for the consequences, the Most High say, if anyone touch Cain, right, you get the punishment will be 7 times over. And we've seen one other thing Esau failed to realize is, well, they do know it in a way. Like Jake ain't scared of Esau face to face. Jake ain't scared of Esau, period. What Jake's scared of is the consequences. Like right now, because we know like a Edomite and Jake will do the exact same thing or commit the exact same crime, and you see Jake's punishment is like 10 times over. Like Jake will rob a bank or rob a store or shoot somebody, right? And Jake will get life in prison. What will Esau get? Or slap of the wrist. Oh, he gets some hard time. He probably was dealing with some mental issues, and they'll send him to like a psych hospital where he can spend like at least 2 years there. So Jake's punishment will be always far higher. That's why whenever Jake is dealing with Esau, Jake's always fear. Why? Because Jake know if he don't calm down or don't move away, his punishment will be 7 times over. That's the main reason. Now take that away from us, dude. Oh man, we'll have a field day with Esau. It's not just Esau. Every nation on the planet know what we're capable of doing. So once again, you only have I know of all the families. So the Heavenly Father Yahweh only known the nation of Israel out of all the people on earth. That's why He's punished us for all our iniquities. So the next one I'm gonna read again is Deuteronomy 7:6. Let's see what it says. Deuteronomy 7:6. It says, "For thou art unholy people unto the Lord thy power." So once again, the nation of Israel are unholy people unto the Heavenly Father Yahweh. We belong to the Most High Yahweh. 18 nations on the planet. Out of all the 18 nations, there's only one nation that belongs to the Heavenly Father Yahweh. So when you see yourself as so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans, so count your blessings. You're extremely special people. Even people that are on a 2/3 mindset, they are still special to the Most High Yahweh Bashmi Ashad. Like right now, they are defiled. So basically the Most High are punishing them. Even them in the kingdom, when they're gonna be in the right mind, the Heavenly Father Yahweh also will take care of them. Except they're gonna be ashamed for a period of time in the kingdom. Eventually, they're gonna bring the happiness. It's like a kid is misbehaving. The father's punishing, even though the father says, "All right, son, the punishment is over." The kid still will still feel bad. But eventually, he'll feel bad for the period. Eventually, he'll be right in his mind and be all happy again. So the Lord Thyper have chosen you to be a special people unto Himself. So the Most High has chosen us to be a special people unto Himself. So we are specifically separated from everybody else. We are right. The Most High have us unto Himself. Like when you have a favorite candy, favorite chocolate, there's all the other chocolate, but there's one specific chocolate. Be like, you know what? I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna save it in a special area. I'm gonna put it like on a special place on the fridge. That's how the Most High treat the nation of Israel, and that's why the other nations hate us too. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth, above everybody above all the nations that are on earth, complete separate. And we see the same thing again in Deuteronomy 14:2. Let's get that real quick. 14:2, and it says, "For thou art holy people unto the Lord thy power," which is the same thing Deuteronomy 7 said. So we are holy people. We are set apart, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto Himself. So the Most High has chosen us to be His own special people outside everybody else, above all the nations that are on earth. And one last one, which is Psalm 147 verse 19. Let me get that. Psalm 147 verse 19. He's going to talk about how we like the Heavenly Father Yahweh give us all the instructions. So if once again you have a kid, and you tell her, "Hey, don't go outside after 4 p.m." So if your father came back home, you see the kid outside after 4 p.m. Guess what? He's gonna give that kid like a butt whooping. What if you see other kids outside around 4 p.m. or 5 p.m.? Guess what? You don't care about it. They're not your kid. They have nothing to do with you. You didn't give them the instruction not to go out, so therefore they can do whatever they want. So that's basically our situation right now. The Heavenly Father Yahweh give us the instructions, and we didn't follow it. Because of that, He punishes us for that. So Psalm 147:19, it says, "He showed His word unto Jacob." So Jacob is also, his name was switched to Israel. So basically, Jacob is basically the Israelite, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So the Heavenly Father Yahweh revealed His word to Jacob, which is us. His statutes and His judgment unto Israel. So basically His decrees and regulation to Israel. So basically the law He gave it to the Israelites. He hath not dealt so with any nations. So He didn't do that for any other nations. And as for His judgment, they have not known them. So as for the judgment, the other nations don't know them. Praise ye the Lord. So basically praise Yahweh. So that's it for the lesson, man. So let me see, the title once again is "You Only Have I Known," which is the nation of Israel. So I put this lesson behind the edifying lessons of flocks, and with the Most High Yahweh Bashmi Ashai went through this message that will be heard. And with that, I'd like to say Shalom.